For today's cup of coffee, we're going to have a discussion that's sort of psychological along with spiritual, because I really don't know that there's a difference between the two. I do have poor suffering youngest kid with me. God love him.
I'm in pain.
He's got two. He's got a tooth on each side, so basically, until he can get to the dentist, he's on a liquid diet.
One of my teeth broke last night, and I'm like, what the hell? I have it in a baggie.
Well, so that's evidence. So anyhow,
It's evidence, all right.
that brings us to the discussion of today, which is sadism. And sadism, especially within medical community. And sadism, for those who may not know, that is when people enjoy hurting other people.
That's a kink.
It can be. There is a community on that comes from as far as the Marquis de Sade. I'll let people do their own research on that because he was interesting. That makes me blush even thinking about that. And I've read stuff like that before. Anyhow, within the medical community, there are procedures that involve pain. Because when people poking holes in you, that's pain.
Yes.
I've wondered before, is, checking the glucose level repeatedly, is that a form of self-harm?
I don't know if that's self-harm or...
If I didn't have the diabetes and I said, yeah, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to punch holes in myself, make myself bleed multiple times a day, people would look at me funny. But no, I've got doctors telling me, punch holes in yourself multiple times a day to the point that you bleed. And that's acceptable. So It has to do with the context of it. So there are a lot of really brilliant people within the medical community. And then there are some that are not. And that's why get a health care provider that that you trust. But usually they're not the ones that are the phlebotomist. I have to use that word every so often, or they charge me double for the degree I didn't finish in nursing.
Stick holes in them. The ones that take the blood.
It is a skill. The people that you get that can draw blood without digging, poking, just absolutely causing people excruciating pain while they do a venipuncture. Yeah, and then you've got others. And then you've got nursing instructors. See, I can talk about this because I did have sadistic nursing instructors, for real.
No.
No, I really did.
No, I'm saying no to that. Like, no, that's not good.
Well, when they tell you, it's like, okay, if you can't find a vein, continue to dig for it.
No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to pull the thing out and then, poke with your finger.
There are different types. Well, there's different conditions like dehydration and age and different things like that. Some people just have small veins that are tough and they roll. So that means that when you are trying to poke a hole in the vein, that it rolls away. Well, I can't blame the vein for that.
It's like, no, nope, step away from me.
But instead of telling someone to dig for that is sadistic.
Yeah.
And it's like,
very much so.
I would try twice. And if I could not hit the vein, then I would go and get an instructor who had done this for longer than I had. And I mean, yes, we did practice on each other. We did. We didn't do...
How is that not torture for each other?
It was a matter, it's like,
Yes, torture yourselves.
So that's
torture amongst yourselves.
A little bit of masochism there. That's the other side that goes with the sadism in a twisted relationship. The masochists enjoy being hurt. And so, kid with the dental, and I don't know about y'all, but I have a dental phobia. Horrible dental phobia.
Me too.
And I'm a fan of nitrous oxide. I think that it should be over the counter. I think that it should be like alcohol.
I think Novocaine should be over the counter.
No, not Novocaine. I know why they don't do that because it's a derivative of cocaine, so that's why it does that.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but yes, but
numb
the
me
federal
up,
government
numb me
is not.
up to the point that I can't feel my own face.
No, I think you should be able to.
I can't feel my whole entire face, and then I can't even. I want to be so numb I can't even feel my chest.
I think that's called paralysis. You don't want
that.
that.
Oh please.
And
my sleep paralysis demons will be my watchers.
But with the nitrous oxide, I think that you should be able to buy small tanks for personal use.
Like helium.
Yeah.
You can get
You
just have a mask and just take a hit and just be like...
I mean, you can rent helium tanks.
Oxygen.
Why not as far as the nitrous, oxide? Because that is an amazing
Do you know
substance.
how many people will be rolling around just like laughing their heads off constantly? It will be literally like We Happy Few.
That was, oh my goodness.
Where they take the joy pills.
That was, I'm trying to remember the name of the movie that had Kyle MacLachlan in it and had Dennis Hopper, and that was what dude he did. He rolled around with a nitrous oxide tank and a mask. Blue Velvet.
That was a fucked up film.
It was a very bizarre. I think that was a David Lynch. Wasn't that David Lynch?
I don't know. I couldn't watch the whole movie.
It started out with just an random ear lying in a field with an ant crawling on it.
I got about halfway and I was like, no.
It's been years since I watched that. But one has to wonder if people have to develop sadistic tendencies in the medical field, or if they already have a propensity to be a sadist.
You have to be a stone cold bitch.
And that it just suits them.
She's not evil. She's just painted that way. She's just trained that way.
Well, and they do teach you to do that. When somebody comes into the hospital and they are very sick and you are very kind to them, and then as they begin to heal, because that there are some people that like the attention, that's when you sort of back off as far as you're not there every 5 seconds when the buzzer rings and stuff like that, because you don't want them to like being in the hospital too much.
You don't want them to be fully dependent.
Exactly. And then as far as people that do the Munchausen by proxy thing, that could be a totally separate video.
But that sucks for the people who are in like nursing homes because they are dependent on those people.
Absolutely.
And that's when you do sort of have to.
Absolutely. And that's where you get to know the staff that works there, all of them, especially night shift. And because there have been some horrible reports coming out of people that are sadistic. And what was it, the TikTok individual that did get fired because that she had made a video? Who does this? That's not only sadistic.
Yeah, she got fired because she was like, oh, they kept me up all night, so I'm going to make sure they sleep tonight.
I mean, it's like to go on a platform and brag about over-medicating someone or physically abusing someone that can't
even
fight
joking
back.
About it. It's not funny.
Well, she said people don't get her sense of humor. I don't know that that's humorous.
I don't think that was humor at that point.
No. And it's like
I would
this.
do well in a nursing home, like as far as taking care of the people, because I would be kind to them no matter what.
Yes, you would. It's like somebody that, again, that was a matter of probably sadistic, narcissistic, and stupid. That's a bad combination.
Yeah.
So, kid's going to run off screen just a second and go get his numbing stuff because I don't know why he didn't do that beforehand.
I thought I would be fine through the whole thing.
So, within this, people have to develop a bit of sadism. They do, to be able to help somebody. It's just like a parent when they have to have their children immunized, different things like that. The kid does not know why the parent is letting the stranger poke holes in him.
Yeah. If y'all ever, like, need, like, tooth numbing stuff or whatever, you do sort of have, it's in a box, so people don't steal it, so you do have to get, like, help or whatever. This stuff. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Bring it a little closer to the camera.
This stuff's good.
Yeah, I think that's going pretty good there.
This stuff is really good.
And that's another thing, that's another video in and of itself as far as spiritual sickness. People that, did you know that they have started tagging, putting those security locks on things like underwear? For real. For real.
It's fucking underwear.
You know, I mean, it's like if somebody is in that bad of a need of a pair of drawers, you can usually ask somebody and they will go buy you a pair of drawers. So that's craziness.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the professions that is equated with sadism greatly is dentistry.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and watch Little Shop of Horrors,
and the people that do ingrown toenails.
Oh, that was the podiatrist. That's his kid has lots of stories. But
I was in pain, and the doctor noticed that I was in pain, and yet he still kept on going, and Dad wouldn't tell them, hey, fucking numb him. Ooh, I was about to kick the doctor in the face, but I didn't. I just swallowed in my pain.
This was the removal of an ingrown toenail, and that the child was not numbed before they started peeling the nail from the flesh. And so
I wasn't numbed properly.
You know, again, who does this? I mean, kids squalling, and it's like, you should stop whatever you're doing and go, why are you squalling?
Yeah.
But with the dentist...
You would think, but...
But with the dentist, if you go back and Steve Martin's character in Little Shop of Horrors, now that, and that one patient, the last patient that he had, perfect example of a sadomasochistic relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are going to be going, I'm going to watch
Wasn't that Bill
again.
Murray?
You know, I think it was Bill Murray.
I think it was Bill Murray. Bill Murray always did.
He's just brilliant. So within that, pick somebody who's not a sadist.
Yeah. The last dentist that I went to, they literally stopped everything that they were doing because I took a deep breath in, and they were like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just having a mini panic attack, so I'm just breathing. That's okay. I hope that's fine. And they're like, no, that's what you're supposed to do. So they did good.
Well,
they made sure I wasn't in pain.
And this is where they have said that the dental industry is getting away from the nitrous oxide, and I'm like, why? And they claimed that it was because that some of the assistants who might be pregnant could be harmed by the fumes. Then don't put somebody that's of childbearing age in that job.
That's everyone.
Oh no, there's some older hygienists out there. There are.
That's the one that put the fucking freezy shit on my tooth and left me hurting for hours after.
Well, you should have told the dentist about that, and actually you should have called them and said, wait. Now, if you're not speaking up...
It's like, no, I'm still hurting, but...
So, if you've got somebody that you could think is a sadist, speak up. You know, if you think that somebody has intentionally hurt you, even if it was that or neglect, anything like that, that's patient rights advocate. Now, I'm very much fans of the patient's rights. Most people think that it's like, oh, I just have to endure the suffering. No, you go to the doctor or the dentist to alleviate the suffering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that, like I said, be aware. There are sadists out there within the medical profession.
Absolutely there are.
And that is a spiritual sickness.
Yeah.
To gain pleasure from the suffering of another, especially when you are causing the suffering of another. There is another term for just enjoying someone's suffering that you
Now,
have
if
not
someone
taken an active part in
Now,
it.
if someone punches you, you have every right to punch them back, but...
Well, it depends on the circumstances.
I mean, if you haven't done anything to them and they still punched you, then you have the right to punch them back.
It depends on what state you are. Seriously. And who punched you, because we're in clown world. We have been in clown world. And we really will do the discussion on Wave X in the next couple of days. I'll go in there and make a star on my little topics list. So, pray, ask people, have you been to this dentist? Have you been to this doctor? Did you have a good experience? Go on. There's one wonderful thing about the internet right now, that you can go and as far as recommendations or the rating systems and stuff like that.
See if they have good ratings, if they are a good dentist or not.
Absolutely. And if they've got bad ratings, I mean, yeah.
If they got bad ratings, then don't go to them.
No, go to somebody else. So, anyhow, that is, and it does apply with the spiritual. It really does. That's a spiritual sickness right there of sadism. If you've got paranormal or supernatural encounters, if you've had experiences with aliens or UFOs, cryptids, you know,
big feet,
if you've got
Wendigo, Wendy boy.
And when kid can talk properly again, we'll get him to do about the Wendigo. If you've had experiences with alternate realities, with or without substances, or anything else that you would like to share with us, send me an email at cupofcoffeewithscream @gmail.com. And you all have a beautiful, blessed, pain-free day.
Bye. Don't let your teeth get messed up.